We've just heard comes on directly after the Annunciation. And Mary rushes to see her cousin, to share her own joy in her own pregnancy and the joy of Elizabeth in hers. So today, the Visitation is the feast of shared joy. And Elizabeth's joy is above all in Mary's happiness. Blessed are you who believed what was spoken to you by the Lord will be fulfilled. And the baby leaps in her womb at this encounter with the pregnant Mary. True joy is never just private. It has to overflow. In the Magnificat, Mary begins, as we usually do, with her own joy. The Lord has done great things for me, but immediately it overflows into the joy of others. He's cast down the mighty from their thrones and lifted up the lowly. Joy propels us beyond ourselves. So we have to share our joy. We have to rejoice in those who have other joy. Pleasure can be private or shared. I can take pleasure in a chocolate eclair all by myself or with somebody else. But true joy is always has to be shared because it is a tiny taste of the ecstatic joy of God, the joy of the Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit in each other. The utterly contrary to this is the elder son in the parable of the prodigal son. His father says, "We have reason to celebrate and rejoice because this brother of yours was dead and has come to life. He was lost and is found." We have reason to rejoice. But the elder son is trapped in himself. My property, my rights, me. St. Paul said in the second reading, "Weep with those who weep. Rejoice with those who rejoice." The capacity for joy is inseparable from our openness to the suffering of others. I visited my mother not long after finals. And although she was undergoing a really grueling treatment of chemotherapy for cancer, although she was terribly sick, she rejoiced in my pleasure in my studies. And she was saddened by the overwork of the nurses who treated her, their long hours. She had the joy of those who forget themselves. This is why maybe she lived for another 30 years. Blackfriars is a house of formation for preachers, and our formation never ends. But at the heart of all our formation ought to be letting ourselves be carried beyond ourselves by the joy and the sorrow of others. That is a taste of the joy and sorrow of God. All these endless years of study, these innumerable essays, they're all worthless unless we are freed from what Iris Murdoch called the fat, relentless ego. And if we are, we shall want to rush out to share the good news, unable to contain ourselves.